Hey, good morning. Welcome to your weekly kick. This morning when you look behind me, what you're going to see is several buildings, but hopefully you're also going to be able to see the wall of smoke that obscures the rest of the city. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been enveloped by a cloud of smoke that's made its way from BC over Alberta into Saskatchewan. Now, unfortunately, the smoke is due to the number of forest fires burning in BC. Those are devastating. They're devastating to our forests, but also they're devastating to people's lives, to their homes, to their cabins, to their livelihoods. And it's sad. It really is. And here in Saskatchewan, we've experienced many of the same kinds of fires over the years. This week I was doing some reading and some research into it, and what I found was there's something called the Smokey Bear effect. And what the Smokey Bear effect is this. Just about 100 years ago, the U.S. Forestry Department decided that they wanted to eliminate forest fires as much as possible. So they came up with a mascot, a bit of a theme, Smokey the Bear. And he would help remind us to be careful about fires, to not let fires get out of hand, to make sure we put our campfires out when we were done, to report forest fires, because we wanted to eliminate this problem that we have. And that's great. The motivation behind this was fantastic. It was really good. It was to save our forests. It was to save lives. It was to save homes. The motivation was great. It was bang on. The problem is there were some unintended consequences as a result of us eliminating or almost eliminating forest fires. Here is the natural consequence or the unintended consequence. Forest fires started by lightning, which are the vast majority of them, would often be very beneficial to a forest because they clear out all of the undergrowth, all of the little trees, all of the deadfalls, the dead plant material. That would all be cleaned out before it got built up too much. Over the last 80 to 100 years, that hasn't happened so much. We've eliminated a lot of the forest fires due to lightning strikes, which on the one hand is a very good thing to do. It's very beneficial. But on the other hand, it's allowed this low growth and the dead plant life and the deadfalls to build up in our forests to the point where now, when a forest fire starts, it gets away on us so fast and it burns so much hotter and so much faster because there's so much more fuel for it to burn because of all the dead stuff and the low-lying fuel in the forest, because we haven't allowed some of those lightning strike-caused fires to continue and to burn that away. And so we've created this bit of a monster that when there is a forest fire that gets away on us a little bit, it tends to get away on us big time because there's so much more dry fuel for it to burn from. Unintended consequences. As a leader, you probably know what I'm talking about. We've all made decisions and our motivation is good and the decision in many ways is probably the right decision. But all of a sudden, it just goes to pieces around us. Once we start talking about it and once we bring the decision to the forefront, to our employees, to the people we supervise, maybe to our subcontractors or suppliers or our customers, all of a sudden we're left scratching our heads going, wow, what just happened here? I thought this was a good decision. This seemed right in every way. There's unintended consequences. People can take it wrong, they can misread it, or, and this is often the case too, we have misunderstood the results of this decision. And secondly, we haven't communicated effectively with the people it's going to impact. So as a leader, when we are making decisions, we need to be sure that we're taking the time, number one, to think through the decision, to make sure that we're considering what are the potential unintended consequences. How might this be taken wrong by my employees, by the people I supervise, by my customers? And secondly, to get feedback from the people it's going to impact. Now, I'm not talking about getting feedback from, and every one of us has these kinds of people, from the people who will tell us what they think we want to hear. As a leader, we all have those people around us at some point who either they want something from us or they're scared to disagree with us, and so they'll tell us what they think we want to hear. Great idea. Oh man, that's brilliant. It's the best idea I've ever heard. When in fact, there are definitely some unintended consequences that are going to come as a result of this decision. We need to get feedback from the people it's going to impact and people who are going to be honest with us about what they really think and about what they really see, the impact of this decision. So as a leader, we need to, as much as possible, minimize the Smokey Bear effect as we make decisions. So number one, take the time to think through our decisions. How might it be misunderstood? How might there be unintended consequences? And secondly, get feedback from the people it's going to impact, the ones who are going to give you and me the honest answers that we're looking for. So, have a great week. We'll talk to you next Tuesday, and remember, avoid the Smokey Bear effect.